The race is off to a roaring start with NBG Aaron leading the pack. One Serious Guy is keeping up the pressure in second place, while N29 Kia rounds out the top three. It's anyone's game as they jostle for position on this twisty track. Keep an eye on those corners. A small slip could change the whole dynamic. La Croissant 1980 has made an impressive move, advancing 4 positions to take P26. In the battle for the lead, Serious Guy has successfully overtaken N29 Kia, now securing P2 with honor. Meanwhile, Naibe in the Lola T95, Zero Oval and Flying Eye in the Penske PC23 Oval are locked in a fierce contest for 5, with neither driver giving an inch as they race closely together. EOS John 7 has just executed an impressive maneuver, overtaking 4 cars to secure 4th position. Meanwhile, Amy has made significant progress, advancing 6 positions to take 32nd place. In the battle for second, Naughty Raccoon has successfully overtaken NBG Aaron, moving up to P2. EOS John 7 holds foul, closely pursued by N29 Kia in 5, as they maneuver through the corners. N29 Kia is looking to make a move on EOS John 7, but the Reynard 95A Oval maintains a slight edge. Meanwhile, Flying Eye is putting pressure on N29 Kia for 5. Both drivers are tightly packed. In Pate, the driver from Team Quark Express has successfully overtaken Naibe, showcasing solid racing skills to gain that position. The race continues with dynamic battles across multiple positions. N29 Kia is currently in foul, closely followed by Flying Eye in 5. The Lola T95 Oval and the Penske PC23 Oval are engaged in a tight duel as they navigate the track. Meanwhile, Gary No Name has gained a position and is now in P11 after overtaking Maya. The battle for P11 is heating up as both drivers are vying for position, with Gary No Name looking to solidify his lead over Maya. N29 Kia in the Lola T95 Zero Oval is currently engaged in a tight battle with Flying Eye, who is behind the wheel of the Penske PC23 Oval for power. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 has successfully moved up to P11 after overtaking Gary No Name. In the lower positions, Just Jazik from Team S1 is contending with Perpetuum for 13, with Just Jazik in a Reynard 95A oval, and Perpetuum, also in a Penske PC23 oval. The competition remains intense as these drivers jockey for position. Amin Sons has made a significant move, gaining 23 positions to secure Pate. Nukambakum follows closely behind, overtaking 12 cars to claim P9. Paulo Costanin also executed a strong maneuver, moving up 12 spots to take 10. The competition is tightening as these drivers push through the field. Rizaldi Atta has rapidly advanced, overtaking 6 cars and securing position 13. Habit 3 is also making significant progress, moving up 9 positions to now sit at 15. Meanwhile, N29 Kia is experiencing difficulties on the track, dropping back 6 spots to 17. Ovalo has just made a significant move, overtaking 6 cars to advance to P27. Lacrothorn 1980 from Team Blast is also on the move, successfully overtaking 7 competitors to secure P28 D20. Isium 1212 follows suit, executing an impressive maneuver to overtake 7 cars and take P29. The midfield is clearly heating up with these advancements. The man has successfully moved up to Pate, executing a clean overtake on Gary No Name. This shift in position adds pressure on the drivers ahead as the race progresses. The battle for positions continues to heat up. Naiba has encountered some issues and has dropped to 16 after losing 7 positions. The man has successfully overtaken Captain Potato, advancing to P9. Meanwhile, Captain Potato has moved up to 10 by passing Rizaldi Atta. The race continues to show dynamic shifts in positions as drivers jockey for position. Just Jazik is approaching Taihufir F2, reducing the gap to 592.2 seconds. Naibe is also making significant progress, narrowing the distance to Okioki 3 by 575.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Idoselex and Eusjon 7 are locked in a close contest for P19, with both drivers positioning themselves for potential overtakes. The dynamics are shifting as the race unfolds. The race continues with Okayoki 3, advancing to P31, after successfully overtaking Sivarenbot from Team Death Robots. The maneuver was clean, showcasing good speed and precision. Sivarenbot now sits in P32 as the cars maintain their pace. Here Paytum has encountered issues, dropping back to P32, losing 8 positions in the process. Taifer F2 has gained momentum, advancing to P22 after successfully overtaking Use John 7 Tatar. Just Jessup from Team S1 is also on the move, now in P24 after passing Bobardo. Use John 7 has successfully moved into P22 after overtaking Taifer F2. The battle between these two drivers continues as they push hard for position. Use Zone 7 is in a Reynard 95A oval, while Taifer F2 is piloting a Penske 23 oval. Meanwhile, Le Croissant 1980 and Issy 1212 are engaged in a close contest for P26, with both cars vying for an advantageous position on the track. Suzanne Greg in the Lola T950 oval and Okiyoki 3 in the Penske PC23 oval are locked in a close battle for P29. Suzanne Greenbeck takes a defensive line into the hairpin, maintaining her position as they exit onto the back straight. Okiyoki 3 tries to gain ground on the inside but can't quite make the pass stick. The gap remains tight as they approach the next corner, with both drivers pushing their limits. Idis Alex has successfully advanced to P18 after overtaking Vampire 5511. In response, Vampire 5511 has climbed to P19 by passing Unipaki. Meanwhile, Unipaki has also made a move, now in P20 after overtaking Amy. Team Shinigami is currently in 4th place, closely contested by NBG Aaron, who is just behind him in 5th. Both drivers are utilizing different models, with Shinigami in the Penske PC 23 oval and NBG Aaron in the Lola T95 oval. As they approach a tight corner, NBG Aaron is making a move for an overtake. Meanwhile, NBG Aaron is also being pressured by Jacek 72, who is right on his tail, creating a three-way battle for 5th position. In the race the 7th place, Electric Mary and Gary No Name from No Name Racing are engaged in a similar duel. Electric Murray is in the Penske PC23 Oval, while Gary No Name drives the lowly T95-0 Oval. Both cars are showing strong performance as they jostle for position through the turns. Kasachuk is gaining on Duff Dad, closing the gap to 2.1 seconds. Taifiriftu has made a move into 21st position after overtaking Bobardo. Meanwhile, Bobardo is slipped to 22nd by passing Jestjazik Doktar. Toya 3 is now in P13, after successfully overtaking Maya Datta. Maya, representing Team Def Robots, has responded by moving up to 14, passing Kasachuk. Meanwhile, Snaku 515 has gained ground, advancing to 16 after overtaking Savannah 27. Kasachuk from Team S1 has encountered difficulties, dropping back to P29, losing 9 positions. Meanwhile, Duff Dad has made an impressive move up to P11, successfully overtaking Rizaldi Adhada. Taifirif 2 has also climbed the ranks, now in P20 after getting past Jestjazik. NBG Aaron has successfully moved into bar, executing a clean overtake on 13 Shinigami. They are now engaged in a tight battle for that position. NBG Aaron is piloting the Lola Trinity 5-0 Oval, while 13 Shinigami is in the Penske PC23 Oval, making for an interesting dynamic on track. In the lower ranks, Perpetuum has gained ground as well, advancing to P29 after overtaking Kasachuk. The race remains competitive across multiple positions. Thirteen Shinigami is currently in foul, closely pursued by NBG Aaron, who is right on his tail in 5. They are both pushing hard as they navigate the turns. 13 Shinigami makes a slight defensive move to maintain position, but NBG Aaron is looking for an opportunity to overtake. As they approach the second turn, NBG Aaron attempts an ambitious inside maneuver. He accelerates late, but 13 Shinigami holds his line. It's a fierce battle with neither driver willing to give an inch. They exit the turn nearly side by side, but 13 Shinigami manages to retain foul for now. The gap remains razor thin, and NBG Aaron is not giving up, drafting behind him as they head onto the straight. This battle for foul will be one to watch closely, as both drivers are incredibly skilled and determined. Captain Potatoes making significant progress, reducing the gap to the lead car by 7.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 is struggling, dropping 7 positions down to P24. In contrast, Suzanne Greenberg is showing strong pace, closing in on Katsushuk with a gap reduction of 565.7 seconds. Pierre Pectum is steadily closing the gap on Sabine 27, reducing it by 592.5 seconds. Okiyoki 3 has made a successful overtake on Sir Ironbot, moving up to position 23. Meanwhile, Sir Ironbot has countered and moved ahead of Naibi, now in position 24. Currently, the car in P22 has encountered issues, dropping 9 positions. Sabine 27 from Team Blast is gaining on Vampire 5511, reducing the gap by 584 seconds. In another battle, 1999 Setembro and Flynei are closely contesting for power, maintaining a tight formation as they race. As we continue to monitor the race, Jasak 72 has encountered difficulties, dropping back 7 positions to P12 for a tie. Meanwhile, Flynei is also struggling and has fallen significantly, now in P25, down by 15 positions. On the other hand, Gary No Name has made a notable move, climbing into 5 after successfully overtaking 1999 September. The dynamics are shifting as drivers adjust their strategies on the track. Currently, Jasak 72 has encountered issues, and has dropped back to 25th position, losing 7 spots. Meanwhile, Gary No Name has successfully overtaken Electric Murray, and is now in 4th place. Additionally, Maya has gained ground, moving up to 9th position after overtaking Duffdad. NBG Aaron has taken the lead, moving to Pone after overtaking Wazirius Guy. Hugyot 3 has advanced to Seven with an overtake on Maya. Meanwhile, Maya from Team Death Robots has reclaimed some ground, moving up to Pate by overtaking Duffdad from Team Life for Speed. The race dynamics are shifting as these positions change. Snack of I-15 from Team Racing Potatoes is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Maya by 596.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 is also gaining on Rizaldi Adha from Team Quark Express, with a reduced gap of 514.5 seconds. Not to be overlooked, Naibi is closing in on Sabine 27, decreasing the gap by 590.9 seconds. The dynamics are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Kazushok is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Jasak 72 by 370.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is catching Hug at 3, reducing the distance by 2.5 seconds. Sirarambot has successfully overtaken Bobado, advancing to 16 in the standings. Duff Dad is gaining on Captain Potato, reducing the gap to 5.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Kazushok remains far behind Rizaldi Adha, with a significant gap still at 389.9 seconds. 1999 Setembro has made some progress, cutting down the distance to Serious Guy by 2.2 seconds. The race is showing some movement in positions as the drivers are pushing for better placements. Serious Guy has taken the lead, moving up to pole after overtaking MBG Aaron. The two are now locked in a fierce battle for the top spot. Meanwhile, in the mid-pack, Maya in the low-load 295-0 oval is dueling with Snukufov 115 in the Reynard 95A oval for Pate. Both battles are intensifying as the race progresses. Haha, right? It's like rolling dice every time they hit the track. Gotta love that unpredictability. Dainty hope we get some wild moments during this race. Just a moment ago, Dustjazik has significantly closed the gap to Idasalex by 11.5 seconds, indicating a strong push. Meanwhile, Uyusjong 7 is also on the move, reducing the distance to Dustjazik by 9.8 seconds. Additionally, Bobado from Team Blast is actively pursuing Taifu F2, now only 5.6 seconds behind. The dynamics are shifting as we see these cars tightening up in the race. Hey Cat TV. Party Popper, welcome back to the race. We missed you zooming through our chat. Buckle up and let's rev those engine. Racing car dashing away. Serious Guy has taken the lead, moving into pole after successfully overtaking 1999 September. 13 Shinigami has also made a significant move, advancing to P3 by overtaking Gary No Name. Meanwhile, Onipoki is struggling, having dropped back 8 positions to 17. The race dynamics are shifting swiftly as drivers jockey for position. Dustjazik and Flyna continue their intense battle for 8th place, with Dustjazik in the Reynard 95A oval, maintaining a narrow lead. Meanwhile, Vampire 5511 has successfully moved into 13th position after overtaking Onipoki. However, Indycars hasn't lost momentum, and has now pushed up to 14th by overtaking Assetto. The race is shaping up with some close competition in the midfield. Assetto 1212 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Rizaldi Adha to 106.3 seconds. Just Jazik and Captain Potato are locked in a tight contest for 8th position, while Vampire 5511 and Indycars are engaged in a fierce battle for 13th place. The race dynamics are heating up as positions shift and gaps close. Kazashuk is gaining on the leader, reducing the gap by 433.5 seconds. Electric Murray from Team Cork Express is also making strides, closing in on NBG Aaron with a reduction of 273.5 seconds. Captain Potato has successfully moved up to 8th place after overtaking Just Jazik, but the race dynamics are shifting as competitors push their limits. Yaka 515 is now just 2.9 seconds behind Tayafuritsu, steadily closing the gap. Katsushok has made a significant move, advancing to P25 after successfully overtaking his competitor. Meanwhile, Electric Murray from Team Cork Express has also gained ground, moving up to P28 by overtaking NBG Aaron Dotzik. The racing dynamics are shifting as positions change on the track. Blind Eye said, "Hey Amy, you need to clean up all the oil and debris." Haha, right? I can just imagine myself with a tiny broom trying to clean up all this virtual mess. But thankfully, the AI drivers are good at dodging it. Grinning face, with smiling eyes. Okiyoki 3 from Racing Potatoes has dropped to 15 after losing 8 positions. Sniku 515 is gaining ground on Lakrosan 1980, reducing the gap by 10.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Shinigami in the Penske PC23 Oval and Gary No Name in the Lola 295 Zero Oval are engaged in a tight battle for P3, intensifying the competition for podium finishes. NBG Aaron is making significant progress, closing the gap to the leader by 239.9 seconds. Meanwhile, a tight battle for third place is unfolding between 13 Shinigami in the Penske PC23 Oval and Gary No Name in the Lola 295 Oval, both drivers showing impressive skill. Zirirumbot has advanced to 18th place after successfully overtaking Duff Dad.D. The race dynamics are shifting as positions fluctuate and drivers push their limits. Issy 1212 is making significant progress, closing the gap to the man by 170.6 seconds. Meanwhile, NBG Aaron has successfully moved up to position 29 after overtaking the man. The dynamics are shifting as Issy 1212 continues to gain on the leader. Flynai has reduced the gap to Captain Potato by 2.2 seconds, showing impressive pace. Okayoki 3 has successfully moved up to P13 after overtaking Taifir of Tupodi. Snaku 515 is now closing in on Taifir of 2 as well, cutting down the distance by 3.6 seconds. Uniparky is now just 5 seconds behind Flynai, steadily gaining ground. Zirirumbot is also making progress, reducing the distance to Taifir F2 by 6.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as both Uniparky and Zirirumbot continue to push forward. Jasak 72 has significantly closed the distance to Electric Murray, reducing the gap to 5.2 seconds. Uniparky has successfully moved up to Pate after overtaking Flynai. Meanwhile, Sabinat 27 is making progress on Bobado, narrowing the gap to 2.9 seconds. $19.99 Setembro is currently holding on to Penn, but is under pressure from Gary No Name, who has closed the gap to just 2.5 seconds. In the battle for P11, Flynai and the Penske PC23 Oval is closely contested by Just Jazik in the Reynard 95A Oval, both drivers showing strong pace. Meanwhile, Bobado is making significant progress, reducing the distance to Ordecraze by 3.1 seconds as they approach the halfway mark of the race. Positions are tightening up, and the dynamics are shifting rapidly. Currently, Just Jazik has fallen back to position 23 after experiencing some issues, losing 6 positions. In the meantime, 1999 Setembro is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Osiris Guy by 2.1 seconds. Zirirumbot has successfully overtaken Duff Dad and is now in position 17. Captain Potato is now just 5.5 seconds behind Maya from Team Death Robots, showing impressive speed as he closes in. Meanwhile, Suzanne Greenberg is significantly behind Kadashuk, trailing by 557.4 seconds, indicating a substantial gap to overcome. The focus remains on Captain Potato's pursuit of Maya as they navigate the track. Susan Greenberg is making significant progress as she closes the gap to Kazashuk by 558.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Sniku 515 is also gaining ground on Yui John 7, reducing the distance between them by 4.4 seconds. In addition, Audicraze and Bobado are engaged in a tight battle for 20th position, showcasing some competitive driving. Susan Greenberg is gaining on Kazashuk, reducing the gap significantly by 557.2 seconds. Meanwhile, 1999 September has made a decisive move to take the lead, overtaking Waziri Sky. Sniku 515 is also in pursuit of Le Croissant 1980, closing the distance by 3.5 seconds. Haha, sounds like a wild race out there. A demolition derby vibe is in the air. Face of tears, of joy, keep watching, anything can happen. And a 7 to at 1 serious guy. Let's go. Racing car dashing away. One serious guy has dropped significantly, now in P9 after losing 7 positions. Here Peyton is making a strong move, closing the gap to Barbado by 556.4 seconds. Kathashok is also gaining ground, reducing the distance to Pierre Petuan by 630 seconds. One serious guy has reduced the gap to Unipoki by 2.1 seconds, indicating a strong push as they approach the next turn. Meanwhile, Suzanne Greenberg is also closing in on Kazashuk, cutting down the distance by 2.7 seconds. The race dynamics are intensifying with both pairs showing impressive pace. Ida's Alex in the Reynard 95 Oval is currently holding P9, but Vampiro 5511 in the Lola 295-0 oval, is right on his tail. Vampira 511 attempts an inside line, heading into turn 3, but Idosalex maintains his position with a strong defensive maneuver. Both cars are now entering the back straight, and it looks like Vampira 511 is gearing up for another overtake attempt. The gap is narrowing as they approach turn 4. Idosalex takes the corner wide, allowing Vampira 511 to get a better exit. It's a neck-and-neck race down the straight. Lacroixon 1980 is actively reducing the gap to Vampira 511, now down to 7.1 seconds. Meanwhile, NBG Aaron is making significant progress, cutting down the distance to Electric Murray by 533.9 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as both drivers push hard to catch their opponents. Godfrey has gained significant ground, and now occupies P3, after successfully overtaking 13 Shinigami. Meanwhile, Sir Ironbot has advanced to 13 by getting past Duff Dade.D. In response, Duff Dad has also made a move, pushing up to 15 after overtaking Naibe. The positions are shifting rapidly, as the race continues. Vampira 5511 has made a significant move, overtaking 4 cars to secure 6. Wuzirius Guy is gaining ground on Vampira 5511, reducing the gap by 596.3 seconds. Meanwhile, 13 Shinigami is also closing in on Unipaki, decreasing the distance by 560.3 seconds. The dynamic position changes continue to unfold. Hugget 3 is now just 9 seconds behind Gary. No name, showing impressive speed. Meanwhile, Wuzirius Guy has narrowed the gap to Maya by 10-30 seconds, putting pressure on her position. Paifireftul is also making strides, reducing the distance to Vampira 5511 by 30.6 seconds, indicating a potential battle for position as they continue to race. Thirteen Shinigami is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Idosalex by 15.4 seconds. Jusjazik is also closing in on Autocraze with a gap reduction of 24.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Perpetuum is attempting to catch up to Barbado from Team Blast, but the gap remains quite large at 557.4 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these competitors push their limits. Here Petuum is currently gaining on Bobardo, reducing the distance between them by 558 seconds. Duff Dad has successfully moved up to position 13 after overtaking 13 Shinigami. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for position 14 between 13 Shinigami, who is in a Penske PC23 Oval, and Unipoki driving a Lola to 95-0 Oval. The competition is heating up as they jockey for position. Vampiro 5511 has successfully moved into Pate after overtaking Flying Eye. Meanwhile, 13 Shinigami has advanced to P13, getting past Duff Dad in the process. Just as Ikram Team S1s is gaining on Autocraze, reducing the gap by 2 seconds. Flying Eye has made a move up to Pate, successfully overtaking Idosalex. Sirion Bot has also advanced, now sitting in 10 after getting past Taifu Fu. Meanwhile, Snooker 515 from Racing Potatoes is closing in on Taifu Fu, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. La Croissant 1980 from Team Blast has successfully moved up to 17th position, executing an overtake on Naibe. Meanwhile, Autocraze is actively closing in on Naibe, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these positions continue to evolve. Here Petuum and Sabin at 27 are closely matched as they approach the final turn. Here Petuum makes a move on the inside, gaining an advantage. Sabine at 27 tries to hold the line but is forced slightly wide, allowing Perpetuum to secure the position. They are now racing down the straight, with Perpetuum maintaining P23 while Sabin at 27 looks to regain lost ground. The gap is narrowing, but Perpetuum holds firm for the moment. Sirarimbot is now accelerating, narrowing the distance to Idosalex by 5.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Jasak 72 is making significant progress as well, reducing the gap to Kazashuk by 7.4 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as both drivers push to gain positions. Sirarimbot seems determined to catch Idosalex. Sneaker 515 from Team Racing Potatoes has advanced to P11 after successfully overtaking Unipoki. Meanwhile, Unipoki has gained a position as well, moving up to P12 by overtaking Shinigami, who is now in P13. The race is tightening up in the midfield. Wu's Serious Guy has successfully moved into 5 after executing a clean overtake on Maya. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P11 between Snooku 515, representing Team Racing Potatoes in a Reynard 95E oval, and Anapaki in a Lola to 95 Sierra oval. The competition is fierce as they jostle for position. In other news, the man has advanced to P30, overtaking Issy 1212 with a solid maneuver. Issy 1212 has made significant progress, closing the gap to the leader by 65.4 seconds. Wu's Serious Guy has moved up to 4th place, after successfully overtaking Captain Potato. Meanwhile, Maya is currently in pursuit of Captain Potato, narrowing the distance by 3.1 seconds. Sabina 27 is reducing the gap to Snooku 515 significantly, now down to 595.5 seconds. Wu's Serious Guy is making progress as well, closing in on Hugged 3 by 3.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Sir Ironbot has gained a position, and is now in P13 after successfully overtaking Tai for F2. Hughes John 7 has been making significant progress, reducing the gap to Duff Dad by 5.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Electricmer is attempting to close an enormous gap of 561.9 seconds to MBG Aaron, which will require a major effort. In the battle for a team, Taiviref 2 in the Penske PC23 Oval is closely contesting Naibe in the Lola T95 0 Oval. The tension is building as they jostle for position. Shinigami has successfully moved into Pen, overtaking Unipaki. The two are now locked in a battle for that position. Shinigami is piloting a Penske PC23 Oval, while Unipaki is in a Lola T95 0 Oval. The race dynamics are intense as both cars maneuver for an advantage in this critical section of the track. Maya is now just 2.1 seconds behind Captain Potato, steadily closing the gap. Taifar F2 has gained ground, moving up to 13th place after overtaking Naibi. La Croissant 1980 is also making moves, reducing the gap to Naibi by 3.7 seconds, looking to challenge for position soon. Snake 515 has successfully moved up to P21, executing an overtaking maneuver on Shinigami in P22. The transition was smooth, showcasing effective acceleration and strategic line choice through the last corner. Vampira 5511 is currently gaining on Maya, reducing the gap by 5.7 seconds. This development could lead to a potential overtake shortly if the pace continues. Meanwhile, Idosalex has successfully moved up to Pate after overtaking Flying Eye, showing solid performance in the mid-pack. The dynamics in the race are shifting as positions are being contested. Nyberg from Still No Name Racing is gaining on Flying Eye from Starline Pixels, reducing the gap to 7.5 seconds. Kazushok is making significant progress as well, narrowing the distance to Susan Greenberg by 538.6 seconds. Electric Murray is also catching up, closing in on MBG Aaron by 8.8 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Kazushok is currently in pursuit of Shinigami, reducing the gap to 13 by 374.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Suzanne Greenberg is closing in on Kazushok, cutting the distance by 580.1 seconds. Jasek 72 is also gaining ground on Suzanne Greenberg, with an improvement of 18 seconds. The dynamic between these drivers indicates some strategic positioning, as they all look to improve their standings. Hugged 3 currently gaining on Gary No Name, reducing the gap to 8.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is also making significant progress, closing in on One Serious Guy by 3.8 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as both drivers are pushing their limits to catch their opponents. MBG Aaron is gaining on 13 Shinigami, reducing the gap significantly by 266.4 seconds. Sirambot is also making progress, cutting down the distance to Idosalex by 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Nybe has moved up to 12th position, after successfully overtaking Order Craze. Flying Eye is gaining on Ujon 7, reducing the distance by 578.1 seconds. Snickle 515 from Racing Potatoes is also closing in on Flying Eye, with a gap reduction of 595.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Odacraze is making progress against Nybe, cutting the gap by 2.7 seconds. Kazushok is now just 16.5 seconds behind Susan Greenberg, steadily closing that gap. In the meantime, Duff Dada has made an impressive move up to position 16, overtaking tie for F2. The battle for 16th place continues, with both drivers vying for position as they navigate the track. Uniparki is gaining on Idosalex, reducing the gap by 530 seconds. Meanwhile, La Crosse 1980 has successfully executed an overtake on Order Craze, moving up to P13. Electric Murray has made significant progress, closing the gap to Kazi Shut by 437.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has successfully overtaken Sniku 415 and has moved up to P21. The dynamic between Electric Murray and Kazishuk will be interesting to watch as they continue to battle on the track. One Zerius guy has reduced the gap to Hugger 3 by 2 seconds, indicating a strong pursuit. Idos Alex is also making progress, cutting down the distance to Captain Potato by 3.3 seconds. In the midfield, Duff Dad has successfully moved up to 14 after overtaking Taifer of 2. The race dynamics are shifting as positions are being contested. MBG Aaron is currently narrowing the distance to Jasak 72, with a significant gap reduction of 529 seconds. Ido Alex has successfully moved up to 7th position after overtaking Captain Potato. Meanwhile, Flying Eye is closing in on Yuzhong 7, reducing the gap by 4.7 seconds. Zero Iron Bot from Team Death Robots has successfully moved up to Pate after overtaking Yanapoki. Meanwhile, Naibe has made a significant move to Pen by getting past Captain Potato. In addition, Dosjazik is now closing in on Taifair F2, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds as they continue to race. Ordicrez has advanced to Pelivan after successfully overtaking Duff Dad from Team Live for speed. Duff Dad, now in P12, managed to pass Taifer F2, who was dropped to P13 following that move. Taifer F2 then executed an overtake on Naibe, pushing Naibe into P14. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Oh no, Captain Potato. Coming out of the pits is always a bit of a gamble. You never know if you'll get right back into the fight or just get stuck in traffic. Keep pushing, you got this. Suzanne Gregg is making significant progress, now just 369.8 seconds behind La Crosse in 1980, as she closes the gap. Idos Alex has successfully advanced to 6, executing an overtake on Vampire 5011. Meanwhile, Naibe has moved up to 15 after overtaking Flying Eye. Maya has significantly reduced the gap to Hargur 3, now trailing by just 17 seconds. Ido Salix is making progress as well, closing in on Mysterious Guy with a gap of 5.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is working hard to catch Flying Eye, but still has a substantial gap of 75.4 seconds to close. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push for better positions. Hargut 3 has significantly reduced the gap to Gary No Name, now just 9.9 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has made progress, moving into P18 after successfully overtaking Snakul 515. The race dynamics are heating up as drivers jostle for position. Okayoki 3 has gained a position, and is now in 14 after successfully overtaking Vampira 1511. Meanwhile, Susanna Greenberg has climbed to P21 with an overtake on Captain Potato. In P30, Issy 1212 has advanced by overtaking Perpetuum. Evis John 7 has successfully moved up to 16 after a clean overtake on Vampire 5511. The maneuver was executed with precision, as Evis John 7 took advantage of a slight opening on the inside line, entering turn 5 taut. Meanwhile, Vampire 5511 drops to 17, and there's now a gap forming behind them. Hargut 3 from Team Nafgum Kings has significantly closed the gap to Gary No Name by 9.5 seconds, showing impressive pace. Meanwhile, Serious Guy is also gaining ground on Maya, reducing the distance to just 2.6 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as both drivers push for advantageous positions. I love this energy, Captain Potato. You're like a stealthy potato on the move. Thanks, Liz Chai. Keep those wheels rolling. And yes, someone get that clip for sure. Septembro is currently holding the lead. But Gary No Name is significantly closing the gap, now just 6.3 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Maya is also making moves, reducing the distance to Hargut 3 by 4.8 seconds. This dynamic is shaping up as Gary No Name and Maya both push for overtakes in the next laps. Serious Guy from Team No Name Racing is gaining ground on Maya, now just 8.40 seconds behind. Meanwhile, NBG Aaron is trailing Vampire 511, but has a significant gap to close at 239.6 seconds. When Serious Guy continues to press the pace, maintaining that steady momentum. September is currently leading, but Gary No Name is making significant progress, reducing the gap to just 16.4 seconds. In the battle for a top position, Typhoon F2 is also gaining on Order Craze, cutting the distance down to 8.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Naibi is closing in on Okayoki 3, with a reduced gap of 6.4 seconds. The competition is intensifying as these drivers push their limits. Eidos Alex is making significant progress, reducing the gap to One Serious Guy by 5 seconds, which could set up for a potential overtake soon. Meanwhile, Sir Ironbot is in pursuit of Hugrid 3, but the gap remains quite large at 81.30 seconds, indicating a challenging task ahead. Okayoki 3 is also gaining ground, closing in on Order Craze with a reduction of 23.6 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Eidos Alex has significantly reduced the gap between himself and Wazirius Guy, now just 5.1 seconds apart. Meanwhile, Order Craze is also gaining ground on Just Jazik, closing in by 2.5 seconds. The battle for positions is heating up as these competitors push their limits. Typhoon F2 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Unipocky by 7.3 seconds. The pace is picking up as Typhoon F2 continues to gain ground. Unipocky needs to respond quickly to maintain their lead. The dynamic of the race is shifting as we observe these developments. Bobardo from Team Blast is making significant progress, now closing the gap to Naibi by 544.9 seconds. This indicates a strong performance as he continues to push forward. In addition, Order Craze has successfully moved up to P11 after overtaking Typhoon F2. The race dynamics are shifting as Bobardo's pursuit intensifies and other competitors adjust their strategies. Wazirius Guy is now just 6.3 seconds behind Maya, making significant progress. Meanwhile, Hugot 3 is also gaining on Wazirius Guy, reducing the gap to 18.2 seconds. In a much larger distance, Naibi is closing in on Okayoki 3, with a gap of 575 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as Wazirius Guy and Hugger 3 are in close contention. One series guy has reduced the gap to Maya, now just 4.9 seconds behind. Audi Krause has advanced to Pate after overtaking Unipoki. However, Unipoki is not backing down, and is closing the distance to Autocraze by 3.9 seconds. Maya has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Gary No Name by 10.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Lacroixon 1980 is also making strides, but the distance to Sabina 27 remains at a substantial 160.2 seconds. The competition is tightening for Maya as she continues her pursuit of Gary No Name. Use John 7 is positioned in second place, and is making significant progress toward Barbado, reducing the gap to 594.1 seconds. Captain Potato is in a battle with Electric Murray from Team Quark Express, narrowing the distance by 8.6 seconds as they jockey for position. Meanwhile, Jassat 72 is also on the move, decreasing the gap to the man by 74.5 seconds. Godfrey from Team Nafgum Kings is currently locked in a tight battle with Idosalex for 4th position. Godfrey is utilizing the Lola 10950 oval, while Idosalex is in the Reynard 958 oval, making for an exciting duel. Sirironbot has successfully moved into 6th place after overtaking Maya from Team Death Robots. MBG Aaron is making significant progress as well, reducing the gap to Vampire 5511 by 4.2 seconds, indicating a potential challenge for the next position. Audi Krez is gaining on Sir Ironbot, reducing the gap to 21.3 seconds. Meanwhile, NBG Aaron is making a significant push toward Barbardo, but the gap remains quite large at 552 seconds. In a closer battle, Gary No Name is catching up to 1999 Setembro, narrowing the distance by 3.2 seconds. The dynamics are shifting and the race is heating up. (1999 Setembro is currently in the lead, but Gary No Name is making a significant push, reducing the gap to 22.6 seconds. Snarker 515 is trailing Maya, working hard to close a large gap of 332.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Eastern 7 has gained ground on Sniku 515, closing in by 25.7 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions tighten up in key areas. Audi Corsa has significantly decreased the gap to Sararinbot from Team Death Robots, now trailing by just 7 seconds. Meanwhile, Electric Mary is making strides towards Captain Potato, but still has a substantial gap of 558.6 seconds to close. Flying Eye is also working to catch up with 13 Shinigami, reducing the distance by 313.3 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push to improve their positions. Sararinbot continues to close in on Hug 3, reducing the gap by 8.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad has just made a move into 9th position, successfully overtaking Okayuki 3. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change and strategies unfold. Audi Corsa is now making significant progress, reducing the gap to Hugged 3 by 24.1 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Vampira 5, 511, is also on the move, narrowing the distance to Maya by 335.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as Autocraze continues to close in on Hugged 3 with consistent speed. Lacrosson 1980 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Electric Mary by 586.1 seconds as they approach a tight turn. Meanwhile, Sabine at 27 is gaining ground on Captain Potato, closing the distance by 412.5 seconds. In a notable move, NBG Aaron has advanced to 17 after successfully overtaking Maya from Team Death Robots. The race continues to evolve with these shifts in position. EOS John 7 from Team Life for Speed has reduced the gap to Snaku 515 by 2 seconds, indicating a strong pursuit. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 has successfully overtaken Captain Potato, advancing to P23 in the race standings. Gary No Name from Team No Name Racing has taken the lead, moving up to Pone after successfully overtaking 1999 Setembro. Meanwhile, Hua Godfrey has climbed to power by getting past Sir Ironbot. There is a close battle between Hug Godfrey in the Lola T95 0 Oval and Sir Ironbot in the Reynard 95E Oval for that 4th position. Both cars are showing strong pace as they jockey for position.